Yo, this is your boy Oda coming to you with part 38 of the crochet basics. And today we're going to be learning how to make a shawl. And trust me, it's very easy. To start our shawl, we're going to do a chain of 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you know how we made the magic ring before? We're not doing that. Just give me a second. We're going to be doing 3 double crochets inside of the very first chain from our foundation. So we're going to be doing 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets into that chain, the very first chain. Okay, great. And you'll have this little fan type sequence there. To continue, we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. Then we're going to go back into that very first stitch that we made in the foundation. It's very, very hard to see now, but that very first stitch, and we're going to do 4 double crochets inside of that same stitch. So you're going to do 4 double crochets into that first chain from the foundation chain. The chain 4 that we did before actually counts as a double crochet, so that's one thing to keep in mind. So it's going to be 4 and 4. Great. So now we have the little fan here. Okay, great. To continue, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to turn our work. Okay, great. Now in that very first stitch, we're going to be doing 1 double crochet. And just remember, at the end of each row there's going to be 2 double crochets, but I'll explain later. So to continue, after you finish that double crochet into that very first chain, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip a stitch. Right, we're going to skip a stitch and go into the next stitch and do 1 double crochet. Great. So now we're going to chain 1. After you put that double crochet, stop. Just stop. In this chain 2 space, right, we're going to be making 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and 2 double crochets again. This is going to help us with our increases. So in a chain 2 space right there, we're going to do 2 double crochets, and then we're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and go back into that same space, the same exact space, and do 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. Great. And that's going to be the same for every single row in that chain 2 space, so keep that in mind. Okay, to continue, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, and go into the next stitch with a double crochet. There we go. And then we're going to chain 1 again, and then we're at the very end. So I'm going to show you how to do the end of the row, okay? So in your last chain 3 space that you had, right, we're going to be doing 2 double crochets into that chain 3 chain. Because remember, we have to make sure that we do 2 double crochets at the end in order for us to be equal on both sides. So I'm doing 1 and 2 into that turning chain. Great. And now we have a fan-like sequence here. It increased a little bit, right? Okay, so great. We have our foundation for our shawl. To move on, we're going to be doing a row of double crochets. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, turn our work. In that very first stitch, we're going to be doing a double crochet because we want to make sure we have 2 double crochets at the end of each row and the beginning of each row. So we're going to do our double crochet. Okay, and then we're going to go into that next stitch and do another double crochet. Okay, great. Okay, now I'm gonna need you to stop for a second. These chain 1 spaces, we're going to be doing 1 double crochet into each of the chain 1 spaces. that you come across. So just do a double crochet and then go to the next stitch, and then you're going to do another double crochet. So this entire row is going to be double crochet. This entire row. So you're going to be going back and forth with double crochet chain ones and a row of double crochet. So I'm going to redo this row again so I can show you how the single crochets go again. So remember, I'm chaining up 3. Okay, so you got that, and then we're going into that chain 1 space with a double crochet. Great. And then we're going to do a double crochet into the next one. Cool. And then in that chain 2 space, remember, stop. That chain 2 space just gets a regular double crochet right there. Okay, just wanted to show you guys exactly where I'm placing my hook. That's the reason why I'm redoing this row. Cool. Great. So you got that. So you're going to do another double crochet into the next stitch. And then in that chain 1 space, we're going to do another double crochet. And then we're going to be doing another double crochet into that one. And then we're going to do another double crochet, and then we're going to be in the middle. So this is where things are going to start to increase. Now, stop. Remember what I told you about the 2 2 2? The 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets? That's what we're going to be doing every time we get to that middle space. So 2 double crochets, and then we're going to chain up 2, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets back into that chain 2 space. Okay, great. So we're going to continue on with our double crochets to the end of the row. This is going to be a row of double crochets. So now that we're at the very end, I'm going to be doing my last double crochet into that double crochet on the end. And then I'm going to have you stop because we have to do 2 double crochets into that last turning chain right there in the end. So just do 2 double crochets into that last turning chain. Cool. Okay, we're getting there. As you move on with more rows, it's going to continue to expand as you move outward. For row 4, what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 3. This is going to be a skipping row. Okay, chain 3, turn your work. And now what we're going to do is do 1 double crochet into that first stitch, the very first stitch, as we did before, because remember we need 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do our chain 1 sequence. Remember, this is a chain 1 sequence. So we're chaining 1, skipping a stitch, and going into the next stitch for this row. So we're going in with the next stitch, and then we're going to chain 1, and then skip a stitch, go in with a double crochet for the following stitch, chain 1, and then we're going to continue that all the way across the row until we get to that chain 2 space where we're going to be doing our 2 2 and 2. Now that we're at our chain 2 space, we're going to be doing our 2 2 and 2. So 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. You're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2. And then 2 double crochets into that chain 2 space again. Okay, great. And then remember, we're in a skipping row. So we're going to have to chain 1 and continue on. So chain 1, skip a stitch, and go into the next stitch and do a double crochet and chain 1 and continue along the row. Remember, in the last turning chain at the end of the row, you want to make 2 double crochets. Remember, we're going to start with 2 double crochets and end with 2 double crochets for each row. So you're going to continue this pattern moving forward. For row 5, you're going to be doing a row of single crochet, and then row 6 is going to be a skipping row, and then alternate back and forth. So this is me finishing up the single crochet row, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. And then there you have it. So keep on doing those rows over and over and over again until you get your desired length. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Follow for more.